Imagine stepping back in time, walking down cobblestone streets, and seeing life exactly as it was 2,000 years ago. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not. Welcome to Pompeii, the city frozen in time. Nestled in the shadow of the mighty Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii was a bustling Roman city. It was a place of vibrant commerce, luxurious villas, and everyday life. People went to the market, enjoyed plays in the amphitheater, and worshipped their gods in grand temples. It was a thriving community, full of ambition, art, and culture. The citizens of Pompeii had no idea that the very mountain that gave them fertile soil for their vineyards and olive groves would soon become their tomb. For centuries, Vesuvius had been dormant. The Romans didn't even have a word for volcano. They saw it as just another mountain, a beautiful backdrop to their prosperous lives. But deep beneath the surface, pressure was building. Minor earthquakes, which have become increasingly common in the years leading up to the eruption, were dismissed as just a part of life in the region. The warning signs were there, but nobody knew how to read them. Then, on a fateful day in August of 79 AD, the unimaginable happened. With a deafening roar that was heard for hundreds of miles, Mount Vesuvius erupted. It wasn't a slow lava flow like you might imagine. Instead, it was a cataclysmic explosion that shot a column of superheated ash, pumice, and gas miles into the sky. This dark cloud blotted out the sun, turning day into a terrifying, perpetual night. Panic swept through Pompeii, the air filled with falling pumice stones, some as large as your fist, raining down on the city, causing roofs to collapse. People tried to flee, clutching their children and whatever valuables they could carry. Others huddled in their homes, hoping to wait out the storm. They had no idea that the worst was yet to come. Hours later, the second, more lethal phase of the eruption began, the pyroclastic surge. This was a superheated, fast-moving avalanche of gas and volcanic ash, traveling at over 100 miles per hour. It was inescapable. It instantly engulfed the city, searing everything in its path. The temperature inside this cloud was hundreds of degrees, meaning life was extinguished in a fraction of a second. In less than 24 hours, Pompeii, along with its neighboring city of Herculaneum, was completely buried under a thick blanket of volcanic material, in some places up to 20 feet deep. The city, once teeming with life, vanished from the face of the earth. It was as if it had never existed. And for the next 1,500 years, it lay hidden, its stories and its secrets locked away beneath the earth. The memory of Pompeii faded into legend. Over the centuries, farmers worked the land above the buried city, occasionally finding fragments of pottery or old walls. But no one suspected the scale of what lay just a few feet beneath their feet. The story of its rediscovery began by accident in the late 16th century, when a canal was being dug. Workers unearthed ancient walls and inscriptions, but the discovery wasn't properly followed up. It wasn't until 1748 that serious excavation work began, spearheaded by a Spanish military engineer named Joaquin de Alcubierre. At first, the excavations were more like a treasure hunt. The goal was to find valuable statues and artifacts to decorate the palaces of the Bourbon monarchy. The methods were crude, often using tunnels and causing significant damage. They found incredible things: beautifully preserved frescoes showing mythological scenes, intricate mosaics, and everyday objects left exactly where their owners had dropped them. They found bakeries with carbonized loaves of bread still in the ovens. They found wine shops with counters and jugs still intact. It was a treasure trove that provided an unprecedented window into Roman life. But perhaps the most haunting and significant discovery came later, in the 1860s, under the direction of an archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli. He noticed something peculiar. During the excavation, workers kept finding strange, empty cavities in the hardened ash layers. Fiorelli had a brilliant idea. He realized these weren't just empty spaces. They were voids left behind by the decomposed bodies of the eruption's victims. Fiorelli developed a groundbreaking technique. He had his team carefully pour liquid plaster into these voids. Once the plaster hardened, they would excavate the surrounding ash. What was revealed was astonishing and deeply moving. Detailed plaster casts of the people of Pompeii in their final moments. These casts capture the human tragedy of the disaster in a way nothing else can. We see a mother clutching her child. We see people huddled together, trying to shield their faces. We see a dog, chained up, writhing in its final agony. These are not statues, they are the final, fleeting poses of real people, frozen for eternity at the moment of their death. They give a voice to the silent victims and transform the archaeological site into a powerful human story. Today, Pompeii is one of the world's most famous archaeological sites and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking its streets is a surreal experience. You can step into a villa and admire the same vibrant paintings its owner saw 2 millennia ago. You can see the ruts in the stone roads, worn down by the wheels of Roman carts. You can stand in the Forum, the heart of the city's public life, and almost hear the echoes of ancient conversations. The work at Pompeii is far from over. Only about 2/3 of the city has been excavated, and new discoveries are still being made all the time. Archaeologists are using modern technology like drones, lasers, and DNA analysis to uncover even more of Pompeii's secrets, learning about the diet, health, and social structures of its inhabitants. The story of Pompeii is a powerful reminder of both the fragility of life and the incredible resilience of history. It's a tragedy of immense proportions, but it's also an unparalleled gift to our understanding of the past. It shows us that even when a civilization is wiped out in an instant, its story can survive, waiting patiently beneath the earth to be told once more. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time to the lost city of Pompeii. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the incredible stories our history has to tell. See you next time.